Hey there, Mr. Redder here. Welcome back to another episode of r/entitled People Stories. Our first story we'll be reading today. My Karen girlfriend found out my parents are rich. Now she's mad I won't pay for her medical and college debt. After that, am I the jerk for extending my vacation with my family and missing my girlfriend's surgery? I think she's being dramatic. And after that, 1,400 packages of cookies. I broke a rewards program. Now for every thumbs up this video gets, one Karen does not get to use someone for their money. Can't use you for your money when you don't even have any, Reddit boy. So please smash that like button and subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories from Reddit every single day. My Karen girlfriend found out my parents are rich. Now she's mad I won't pay her medical and college debt. My family is low-key wealthy, but my parents have made sure that we are never flashy about it. We live in the same place we've lived for about 15 years, don't have flashy clothes and cars, and generally make sure we're spending money on experiences rather than objects. Cue my younger sister, who's totally spoiled and for some reason feels extremely entitled to her share of the wealth. She just turned 21, and I think part of it is her finally getting information about her trust and in general how we stand. I'm 25 and I'm the older one, so I've sort of known about all of this for a while now. Anyway, long story short, my sister ended up going car shopping with my girlfriend for expensive new cars, Porsches. My dad has not approved anything, so I don't know what she's going to do, but apparently she flashed my dad's credit card and talked up the salesman about how much money she has to spend. My girlfriend was shocked that me driving a simple, unassuming 10-year-old Lexus will have a sister throwing $100,000 at a car. We had a huge discussion and ended up fighting about it. She was shocked at roughly how much money we had and told me I was a tad selfish for not mentioning it when she had college and medical debt. Honestly, we've only been dating for 2 years, and I was thinking after about a year I would propose if things are going well and start this discussion. It's all happened a little too soon. I'm really mad at my sister and kind of laid it out on her. Told her how immature and selfish she was and how she is undoing everything our parents have worked hard for to install values in us. She told me I had to grow up and I'm a wet blanket. Am I the jerk here? Not the jerk. The biggest jerk here is your girlfriend for assuming that because you come from a wealthy family, you're obligated to pay off her debt. Is this really the kind of person that you want to have a relationship with? OP. Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. Your parents' money has nothing and will never have anything to do with her college and medical debt. That was a strange thing for her to say. I don't get why people would be mad at not being told about wealth. Are they equally as mad about not being told of a family debt? I'm blown away that she thinks she's entitled to it. I was thinking the same. It's telling that the fact that her knowing that you have access to money equals her debt being paid. The only reason you should disclose an aspect of your finances with anyone is if they are contributing to them, for business purposes, or because you are combining household finances. Why would she need to know how much money you have? I get why people would be upset after learning that their significant other had been hiding something from them for 2 years. That would make me wonder, what else are they hiding from me? But the key here is that isn't what the girlfriend wondered. Her mind went straight to, why hasn't this benefited me? And that's the issue, and it makes her a massive jerk. Sorry, she wants you to pay off her debt? Just because your family is wealthy? The audacity and entitlement she has, not the jerk OP. Yours and your family's finances are really none of her business unless y'all get married. OP. Yeah, but I guess if my parents are okay, they are not. With my sister spending $100,000 on a car, her $20,000 medical debt seems quite small. But your girlfriend is not your parents' kid or their responsibility. Yeah, it sucks for your girlfriend and your sister sound spoiled, but your girlfriend isn't their family, and they're under no obligation to take care of her. I would never throw a fit over my wealthy boyfriend not paying my debt, especially if it's only been 2 years and y'all aren't even engaged. And like you said, your parents aren't okay with your sister buying that expensive car. Why would they be okay dropping thousands on someone who's not their priority? Honestly, I can kind of relate to the girlfriend here. She's still the jerk, and I hope she will realize that her reaction was wrong. But I also was a bit blindsided when I found out how much money my boyfriend has. Mind you, nowhere near what OP has, just decent savings. If you're worrying about every dime you spend, grew up with money problems, and so many of your problems could be fixed with money, it can make you upset to see someone else who doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff. Red flag that she mentions her medical debt. OP. It's not much, about $20,000 that she's paying off. $20,000 is that much to most people. OP, which is sort of her point. $20,000 is life-changing money to most people. You will do as you want with this relationship, but I think what we're seeing here is she wasn't upset that you didn't trust her enough to tell her in the past 2 years you've been together, but rather that hearing immediately went to you paying for her debt. The first reaction would be understandable. After 2 years, suddenly finding out from a third party that you're wealthy would be a lot to take in. However, her mind seemed to immediately go to, why aren't you paying my way? This is not the reaction you should want. No, it's a problem. It's a problem that your girlfriend of not long enough heard that you had money, and her first thought was how selfish you are because you aren't taking care of her debt and bills. That is exactly why you don't tell people you have money. Your sister is going to get really done over by the wrong person one day, and she's going to learn to stop bragging to everyone about the money she has. Not the jerk. You aren't married and pooling assets together. She had no reason to know. That's your business that you choose to share with people for obvious reasons. Well, who do you think is the jerk? OP or his girlfriend? Please let us know. You know, if I ever become rich, I don't think I'm going to tell anyone about it. Am I the jerk for extending my vacation with my family and missing my girlfriend's surgery? I think she's being dramatic. I, 35 male, have been with Stacy, 33 female, for 8 years. Neither of us want marriage, but we are committed long-term to our relationship. Stacy gets tonsillitis 3 to 4 times per year and has swollen turbinates, which means she is in agony every quarter and has trouble breathing through her nose. She is having a tonsillectomy and turbinate reduction surgery at the same time. Both are done through GA, and she'll be there for 24 to 36 hours. We get to pick the surgery date to fit around my work schedule. I had a big project coming up, and it was due to finish a few days before her surgery. I organized to take the week off work to keep her company, help prep food, etc. I thought it was the least I could do since she claimed to need someone there. We recently moved to a new state, so neither of us have family or friends in town. Project fell through, so I booked a flight to surprise my family and would be there for 4.5 weeks. Return flight would have me there the day after surgery. Since the trip was a surprise for my family, nobody took time off work and I've barely seen them. Sister managed to get time off during week 5, so I extended my trip to stay. Stacy was upset and asked me to come home when originally planned. I had my tonsils out when I was 8 and I was at school a week later. I don't think she'll need someone there because it's as simple as taking painkillers and reheating soup. However, she says that her doctor said she'd need someone with her for at least the first 3 days, and because I knew about the date already, that somehow I'm being insensitive. She said that I should have warned my family to make sure they took time off, but that wouldn't have been a surprise. My sister says she's being selfish because she's coming between me and my family time, and I'm on the same side. I googled anecdotes of tonsillectomy recovery, but I know people often exaggerate online for attention. Now her mother has called me and, nicely I'll admit, asked me to come back to look after Stacy since she'll have no one else. Am I the jerk? ETA. Our friends are also divided on this issue. ETA. Full disclosure, it was my brother I was referring to. I changed it to sister to make it a bit anonymous, but I ended up telling my girlfriend I posted here, so it doesn't matter so much anymore. You're the jerk. Let me count the ways. 1. Surprising your family was more important than actually spending time and making plans with them. 2. Specifically telling your significant other you would be back in time and changing last minute to ensure she will be alone and have no time to see if anyone else could come help her. 3. Making a commitment to help her and then blaming her for coming between you and your family. 4. Thinking kids healing from surgery is the same as an adult. Spoiler alert, it isn't. It's much harder for adults, and I guarantee you weren't taking care of yourself at the age of 8 like you think she should. 5. Her doctor is specifically saying that she needs somebody to help her for the first 3 days, and you think she's being dramatic. You suck. Be better. He also decided to surprise them for 4.5 weeks, which I guess means he hangs out alone at their house eating snacks while they are at work. No thanks. Hope the poor girl reconsiders living with someone like this. He has no respect for her, like simple, take some painkiller and reheated soup. What? She doesn't deserve this treatment, and sister is supporting him, telling him that his girlfriend is paranoid? You're the jerk. She deserves happiness. Next post. Am I the jerk for leaving my pregnant girlfriend in the hospital? My sister told me it was okay. Doctors would take care of the baby. You're the jerk. That was the part that got me too. Painkillers and reheated soup? What's wrong with this dude? You're the jerk massively. You didn't plan your trip or tell your family, which is why it needs to be extended in the first place. You prioritized a trip over your partner in great pain. You flipped out on your original plan without consulting her, even though she still needs surgery. You dismissed and minimized her pain. Tonsillectomy and turbinate reduction is a major surgery for an adult. You consider your opinion on her surgery superior to hers, or even her doctor's. You want to abandon your recovering and in-pain girlfriend when she needs you the most. You chose not to be back on time, not even early, for her when she has to schedule a major part of her life around you. You tried to find something about the surgery online, but only to fit your selfish narrative, hence the people exaggerate for attention part. Wow, that's a lot. You're a jerk, and so is everyone who's supporting you. Why, after you planned to take care of Stacy, did you think that abandoning her was a good idea? Do you consider your support a favor to her? Because if yes, I hope she dumps you. You sound like a terrible, inconsiderate partner who doesn't respect Stacy, her pain, or her plans. Well, who do you agree with? OP or his girlfriend? Please let us know. 1,400 packages of cookies. I broke a rewards program. The year was 2000 in Canada. One of the better grocery store chains, Loblaws, had introduced their new President's Choice PC Points Rewards program. This was tied into their PC Financial MasterCard. There was a month-long promotion where you could get bonus points for purchasing select items. One of the items was their signature President's Choice Decadent Chocolate Chip Cookies. These are amazing cookies that are still around today. The offer was, for every bag of cookies purchased for the regular price of $1.99, you got 1,000 PC points when you used your PC Financial MasterCard. That 1,000 PC points was worth $1 for a later redemption. Buying a package of great cookies for half price after reward value would not make for a good malicious compliance story, now would it? I figured something out and started some major malicious compliance with their offer. I started by going from store to store and buying every bag of cookies I could find. I even asked if they had cases in the back. From one store, I was able to get 8 cases. I ended up getting 1,400 packages of cookies over a 3-week period before the program broke. Having 1,400 packages of cookies created a problem. What was I going to do with all those cookies I bought for $1.99? At the time, I was a field sales rep for a company with 4 factories in the province. I ended up selling most of the cookies for $1 a package to the employees. They thought it was a great deal and could not get enough. On to the points. Every couple of days, the bonus points would show up in my PC Points account. I realized I could take my PC Points and convert them online from PC Points to Petro Points, Petro Canada Gas Station Rewards Program. Once I had 100,000 PC Points, I would convert to 100,000 Petro Points. I would then go online into my Petro Points account and convert those points to Sears Club points. Sears was a department store that is now gone. Eventually, I would redeem the Sears Club points for vouchers that could be used for in-store purchases at Sears. The break. After converting 1,400,000 PC Financial points to Petro points over a couple of weeks, Petro Canada caught on and immediately stopped all conversions to Sears for everyone. No more points could be converted. It was even marked as not available on their website. I called Petro Points when I found out, and after a little discussion regarding the sudden end of the conversions, was allowed one final conversion. The math. One package of cookies cost $1.99. I sold the packages of cookies for $1, earned $1 in PC points, exchanged that $1 in PC points to $1 in Petro points, exchanged the $1 in Petro points to $5 in Sears Club points. It was a fun 3 weeks while it lasted. I told my sister I'm not surprised she doesn't have any friends. So I recently moved to my home country for college and recently found out my 10-year-old sister did something that I'm pretty upset about. So my family had a party for me before I left, and near the end, I noticed that my Nintendo Switch and its games were gone. I found it in my sister's room and packed it and went to sleep to get ready to go to the airport. The flight and everything else went fine, and while I was unpacking my stuff, I noticed I couldn't find my Nintendo Switch or any of its games. I was really confused as I distinctly remembered putting it in my suitcase. I called my mom and she explained that my sister had taken the games and my Switch in the middle of the night and hid it so that she could have it. My mom didn't know until it was too late and just grounded my sister from candy for a week. I am fuming. The Switch was given to me by a friend, and all the games were either gifts or I paid for them, and now my mom thinks it's completely okay to let my sister take something that's mine. When I told her this, she said I was being melodramatic and territorial and to let my sister have it. The next week, my sister called me and was being a jerk about the whole thing, saying stuff like, "How does it feel to know you have to ask me to play games now?" I told her that she is an entitled brat and told her, "I'm not surprised you still don't have a friend." My sister was shocked and hung up the phone. She's been having trouble making friends for a while now and told me that I'm the jerk. I'll admit I went too far, but I don't disagree with calling her out on doing that. My sister has never done anything like this, and my siblings and parents are telling me that I'm the jerk now and telling me to apologize and let her keep it. I'm conflicted and need to know if I'm in the wrong because I feel bad and need to know if I'm the entitled brat. So, am I the jerk? Edit. My entire family isn't letting me talk to her until I say that it belongs to her. Thank you all for the support. I now realize I've been manipulated, gaslighted, and emotionally mistreated by my entire family for years. I'll make an update post on what happens, and yes, I am involving the police. I can't tell you all how grateful I am to finally grow a spine and stop making excuses for their toxic BS. Thank you all. Update. Well, the basic rundown is that my sister apologized after Joy, my cousin, told her what she did was wrong and forgave me and gave my stuff to Joy to mail it back. I reported theft to the police. My entire family has been calling me and Joy names and screaming at us through calls, so it's no contact for both of us. I'll try to keep you all updated on what happens next. Wait, your sister effectively steals your Switch, phones you to brag about said theft, and somehow your mother thinks you're the jerk for snapping back? Yeah, no, that's not how this works. No wonder your sister is struggling to make friends. Hard, not the jerk. Yeah, that's what I'm also thinking. OP's sister stole from OP, and mom was like, "I didn't give her any candy, she's just a kid, leave it alone." What's wrong with her? Correct their mistake. OP's sister doesn't have any remorse about her actions. I also agree with not the jerk. Am I the jerk for making my daughter sit in her room while the rest of us have snacks? I work 14-hour days on Saturdays, so I picked up food on my way home so I don't have to cook, and so pick up snacks for the kids too. Usually sweet treats that last them all week. Every Friday, I ask what they want. My two younger kids, who are 10 and 7, give me their list. My daughter, however, 14, always tells me she doesn't want anything. She has all of Friday and can message me at work all of Saturday if she changes her mind. Every week, like clockwork, she insists she doesn't want anything, multiple times, and then every week she'll huff and start crying because she doesn't have anything. My 10-year-old is really sweet and will instead give her his, so he doesn't have anything for the rest of the week. He will then end up sharing with his younger sister. This upsets me. No matter what I do punishment-wise, she won't quit her behavior. She will cry incessantly and claim I'm favoring them. Both kids get really upset whenever anyone cries, so it's just a cycle. Last Saturday, she started again. I'd had a particularly stressful day and said she could either shut up or put up, or take herself to her room. She continued to whine, so I marched her to her room. She was pretty shocked, but stopped crying. My younger two and I ate our snacks. They were initially kind of upset, but after I explained a little, they were happy to eat. My wife was upset, but didn't say anything. Every night after I get in, we have our sweet treat. Every night, oldest starts whining, and so I send her to her room. Today, my wife blew up at me over it, saying she has a right to be upset, and that I should just buy her snacks anyway, rather than forcefully single her out each night. I disagree. She's a big girl. She can ask for snacks if she wants them, not manipulate her younger brother into giving his up. Overall, it's created a huge rift. I will admit her behavior has been much, much better this week, but I'm now thinking she may just be hiding from me rather than behaving. I don't know if I went too far with it or not. So, am I the jerk? Not the jerk. She's old enough to tell you what she wants, and she shouldn't just take snacks from her younger siblings. OP. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm still unsure with the backlash I've received. Have you asked her why she keeps refusing? Probably because she's self-conscious about eating junk food, like many girls her age, and is handling it badly by pretending to herself she doesn't want this stuff. Then she craves it when everyone else is having some. It's not that unusual or deep. I'd do what wife said and just buy extra snacks each week. With kids, you have to pick your battles. If she is otherwise a good kid who knows how to advocate for herself, why make this into a thing? Not the jerk, because you warned her and asked what she wanted, but now that you've made your point, you need to start to let this go. My 14-year-old son does this exact same thing. We drive an hour each way to visit my mother most Sundays. Sometimes we will stop and eat a sit-down meal on the way back. But if I'm extra tired, we will just swing through a drive-through fast food place. Anytime we go through a drive-through, he always says the same thing. He's fine and doesn't want anything. I mean always. It's annoying, because I know that once he smells the French fries or sees the Frosty, he will end up wanting it, and then I'll end up giving mine away. Because, that's what moms do. So I simply don't ask him anymore. I got tired of the cycle. We just buy him whatever I think he's going to want, and he's going to be happy with it. There's only been once or twice that part of his meal doesn't get eaten, so we aren't wasting food or throwing away money. Just accept that your daughter is going through a phase, and as long as she's well behaved for everything else, don't let this little thing turn into a huge conflict. This Saturday, just pick her up a treat for the week, no matter if she asks for one or not. Kids aren't mature enough to always wisely pick and choose their battles, so sometimes we just gotta do it for them. You've made your point, so now move on. Well, who do you think is the jerk? OP or his daughter? Please let us know. Most importantly of all, are we talking about Hostess snacks or Little Debbie's? Am I the jerk for demanding my friend pay to clean my house? Here I am with probably the most disgusting am I the jerk I've ever heard of. It's winter, and so we have a humidifier going on in the living room. I had a friend with her 11-year-old over. He wanted to watch a movie, so I put on Disney Plus, and his mom and I went to talk in the kitchen. We ended up stepping outside so I could show her what my plans were for our garden this spring. She's really into homesteading and had great advice. When we were done, we went back in the house and eventually went back to the living room. It smelled really weird in there, and I have a very sensitive nose. It kind of smelled like pee, so I wondered if my cats had peed in there somewhere, but they were all in hiding because we had people over. It really bothered me, and I kept investigating before I realized the blue water holders of the humidifier were green. I pulled it out, and it smelled like pee. I was talking out loud while doing all of this, and her son was basically like, "Yeah, I peed in that. I think it's really cool how it makes my pee just disappear." To which I immediately wanted to throw up. I was stunned and so disgusted, and the mom was like shocked. She excused herself, and her kid left. It turns out he has a humidifier in his room to help with his chapped lips and dry nose, and he's been using it as a toilet for months. I threw my humidifier away and realized I never wanted to go into my living room again because it stinks all over the room. The mom asked if there was anything she could do to make it up to me and offered to buy me a new humidifier, but I said I'm fine with just never owning another humidifier. But I would really appreciate it if she could split with me or pay for the cost to have my living room professionally cleaned. I want the carpet, sofa, and drapes steamed clean, the wall clean, and every nook and cranny cleaned. The idea of even walking into my living room makes my skin crawl. She said that was too much, and she can just buy me a new humidifier. She didn't plan on doing any cleaning to her son's room. She kind of sees it as a non-issue. I'm so disgusted, but I feel like she should at least split the cost of the professional cleaning. She's refusing and calling me the jerk for trying to take advantage of the situation to get my living room cleaned. We're kind of in a standoff, and I'm wondering if I'm being the jerk here. Is this really asking for too much? Not the jerk. Splitting the cleaning cost, assuming it wouldn't cost this friend more than $100 to $200, seems pretty reasonable to me, especially when you're not asking for the humidifier to be replaced. Half is honestly a generosity. OP said $350 total, and I'd be so mortified and happy that it only costs that much. I see no reason to be cheap about it. He said the mother is financially stable. Kid has his own room, and from what I can tell lives in a house, her being into homesteading. The kid is 11 years old. That's 6th grade, middle school. That kid has some issues going on, and she needs to take some responsibility. Not just for OP, but for the kid too. Cost does not matter. She knew her son did this disgusting crap. That right there makes her the jerk. But to then do it in someone else's home and not be bending over backwards to make it right is just… there are no words. This is beyond disgusting. He was nice offering to split it. She 100% is responsible. Not the jerk, OP. I think you're being far too kind. Entitled Mom gets banned from the theme park for a huge tantrum. Hi everyone. I've been dying to post this story from my time working at a theme park forever now, and I finally have enough karma to do so. Hope you guys enjoy. A little backstory. I worked at a theme park on the events team. We have events around seasonal periods, and they're always themed. At almost every event, we have a competition build, a scavenger hunt, and other things for kids to do while they're in the park besides rides. This particular event was in January of 2018, and I was working the competition build. The way our competition build works is these kids get a Lego base plate to build everything on. The two rules we have is that nothing can hang off the edge of the base plate and the build can't be taller than a foot. This is what our entitled mom uses as her leverage. I had just returned from lunch and I saw that somebody had built an amazing build. It was a dragon that had a moving tail, arms, and a head. It had lots of detail and followed the theme. It was definitely going to win. We were only open for about another hour, and we didn't think anybody else could build something good enough in that time frame. Enter our entitled mom. She had two small kids who started building at our competition. Like we normally do, we were talking to the kids and the mom trying to give them a great experience. The dad jokingly said to us, "You know when you see builds like that, the dragon, it's like why even try? But hey, if the kids are having fun, so be it." Entitled mom finally sees the dragon build. "Oh wow, he must have brought pieces from home." Me. Actually, he used all the pieces we have on the table. Entitled mom then proceeded to look at the dragon very intensely. When I see her reaching out to touch it, I stop her. Me. "Please don't touch other people's builds, ma'am. We don't want them to break." "I'm not touching, just looking." I keep watching her just to make sure she doesn't do anything else, but she then pulls out her phone and takes pictures of the entire build. After taking the pictures, she walks over to her sons. Entitled mom. "Don't worry, boys. That build is disqualified anyways. Its pieces hang over the edge." The piece she's referring to is the moving tail. When you fold the tail, it didn't hang over the edge, but when you unfolded it, it would hang over the edge. When she took her pictures, she unfolded the tail. My coworker folded the tail back up and moved the dragon build to the back of the table so she couldn't reach it. After a few minutes, entitled mom comes over to us and demands we find the pieces that the kid used when he built the dragon. Our Lego pieces that we use for competition builds are a mix of hundreds of Lego kits. There is absolutely no guarantee of any type of pieces. The piece she was referring to looked like an elephant tusk. Entitled mom. "Find my babies these pieces now. They need them." Me. "I will try my best, ma'am, but those small pieces normally fall to the bottom of our bins, and there's no guarantee we have any more." "I don't care. Find them. We want to use them." Me and my coworker spent the next few minutes digging through these large gray tote bins filled with thousands of Lego pieces just to try and find a tiny piece that is smaller than a pencil eraser. We found some pretty cool pieces that we tried to give to the kids. Me. "Hey guys, we couldn't find the pieces you wanted, but we found these super cool ones. Do you want to use these?" Entitled Kid 1. "No, we want the ones that are on the dragon." Entitled Kid 2. "Yeah, it's not fair he brought his own pieces from home." Entitled Mom. "You're making my babies upset. Since we can't use the pieces we brought from home, can we use the pieces from inside?" We were outside a building that had more Legos inside. Now, the pieces that were inside were thick, dirty bricks, no specialty pieces. Plus, they didn't belong to my department. Me. "Sorry, ma'am, those pieces don't belong to the events team. We can't use those. Plus, none of those bricks are the type of pieces you would want either." "This is so unfair. My babies aren't gonna win, and it's all your fault." After this, I kind of shut down. I walked away to talk to some other kids who weren't little brats. We had about 15 minutes before we were going to close the competition. During this time, my boss came to help us start closing. When she arrived, I let her know about our entitled mom. Now, I love my boss. I have worked with her for a very long time. She's the main reason why I haven't quit yet. My boss had an issue with entitled parents, especially parents that put other kids down to bring their kid up. After I let my boss know that she had been touching the dragon build, she stood in front of the table and blocked the dragon build. Again, entitled mom decided to try and touch the build. Boss. "Please don't touch other people's builds." Entitled mom. "I'm not. I'm just looking. Did you know this build is disqualified?" Boss. "Even if it was, we don't like to tell kids that their build was disqualified and break their hearts." Entitled mom did not like this. She went back to taking pictures, but not of the build, but she started taking pictures of us. My boss, being very sarcastic, told her to make sure she gets her good side. Me and my coworker jokingly posed while she took pictures of us. The time hit for us to close, and instead of entitled mom leaving like the other families did, she sat there and watched us. When do they come out and judge them? Boss, you will be notified by email only if you win. Normally when we closed, we put away all the Legos and take apart all the builds on the table after selecting a winner. Since entitled mom wanted to sit there and watch us, we had to carry this giant table with all the builds on it inside the building and into an employee-only room just so we can take them apart. We kept going outside to continue cleaning up, and entitled mom kept watching us. She followed us around and videotaped everything. I assume her husband went somewhere with her kids because they were gone. After we moved everything inside, we took pictures of the dragon and of her brat's builds. My boss called security and let them know about her stalking us. She also contacted guest services and let them know of her behavior so that she couldn't go up there and get free stuff. While we were taking apart the builds, guest services radioed us. They already knew the lady we were talking about by name. They said she had caused several issues in the park in the years prior. She was an annual pass holder, and her behavior today put more points against her annual pass, and she was a half a point away from being banned. After all the builds were taken apart, we decided to pull the dragon registration form as the winner. My boss looked at the slip and laughed. Boss, the builder of the dragon has already won a competition build, so he can't win again. The sad thing is, entitled mom's kids built some really cute stuff, and had entitled mom not acted the way she did, her kids would have won. As of now, 2021, I no longer work at this theme park, but the entitled mom has been permanently banned due to her behavior. Support our channel by joining as a member today, and we'll give you a shout out in our next video. Or come watch this video next. You won't believe what Karen does in that one.